Welcome to the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Podcast with your direct sales dom, Jenny Bellinger. Badass Direct Sales Mastery is a podcast for rock star direct sales moms who are determined to make their business kick ass. Jenny will share her knowledge of effective sales and recruiting techniques, tips to get what you want from your business, and will interview direct sales professionals and leaders from various companies. The interviews will give insight to how these rock stars got to where they are and where they plan to grow in the future. And now, the direct sales dom, Jenny Bellinger.
Welcome back to another episode of Badass Direct Sales Mastery. I'm your host, your direct sales dom, Jenny Bellinger, helping you whip your business into shape. And we are back. If you recall last week's episode, we were talking to Mia Oddo with Mia Oddo. And this time we're going to focus on Mia's story now. So Mia Oddo and I met through a mutual business associate as part of the Be a Success Maverick book series. We were introduced through Paul Fink. But let me remind you all about Mia. She's a medical esthetician by trade and owner of Mia's Spa inside Atha Holistic Wellness Center in Delray Beach, Florida. She is also a co-author of the best-selling book, Be a Success Maverick, Volume 4, and has been a #1 income earner in her direct marketing, network marketing business for air purification. Mia has earned recognition as one of the top 100 successful women in business network by the Global Trade Chamber in 2020 and was featured in the Atlantic Ave magazine as one of the top premier day spas in Delray Beach, Florida, and has earned a 5-star rating on Yelp. And for those of you who've never had to deal with Yelp, that's a big deal because most people are pretty happy to go complain. They're not always great about going and giving those 5-star reviews. So good on you for that. Mia loves being of service and is a motivational speaker and ambassador and does help, and a motivational speaker and ambassador for Open Hearts for Orphans Charity, which provides financial and medical supplies to babies overseas. Oh, I love people who have a charitable portion to their life and business. That's awesome, Mia. Well, welcome back, girl.
Thank you for having me, Jenny. I'm so happy to be here again.
Oh my gosh, yes. So tell us, for the badass crew who's been listening and they remember your episode from last time, give us the update. What's been going on with Mia since the last time we chatted?
Oh, thank you again. I still have a beautiful spa in Delray Beach, focusing on beauty as well as health and wellness and pain. And then, the last time I was on the show, because of COVID, like so many people had to look at another stream of income. Yeah. And that's when I got into the air and water purification, which really catapulted at that because it still is a really big concern for people, especially those that look at their bodies holistically and how to be able to, help your body be able to negate these viruses and things that are still in the air. So it's still very much on the forefront. But I was really noticing that, things change and come and go with my reps and wanting to find a system that would really allow me to be more scalable, but most importantly, to be more duplicatable. And, I find that to find that is not necessarily with the people itself, because you think, okay, if I can just find another gold, I need to find a gold person. But if you don't have the systems in place to be an effective leader to show them how to use those systems, you're really not going to go that far or grow. And then that's when I actually came across my now mentor, who is on the call with us or on the podcast, Mia Oddo, at a Ray Higdon, John Maxwell event. And I was so impressed by his retention of being over 90% across all of his platforms. I said, wow, that's something that I really look at it for mine, because I was noticing the numbers going down because people were jumping ship and doing other things. So I said, I really need to take a look at this. And that's where I am now, is really incorporating and embracing the IT piece. And that's through ChatGPT AI with NASA.
That is fantastic. So How long have you been on the Now Site platform to help you manage your marketing and business pieces?
I'm pretty recent. It's really been about 3 months only,
Okay,
but I definitely have seen a difference already.
that's awesome. So what are some of the, since you've been on it for 90 days now, what is your current favorite part of how this is adding to your business?
I love the Now site because it saves me a lot of time and money.
Okay.
But before I was not really posting consistently on social media, maybe once or twice a week, because when you're doing multiple things, you just don't really have time to devote to that.
Yeah.
And I have to focus also not only on my team but also on my clients. And then how do I also focus on social media? It kind of was like left behind. But I know that if I don't get on this train of understanding how to navigate the social media world using ChatGPT, I'll be left behind. So
Yeah.
I started to really understand the value of how much time and money it would save me, because I was going to hire someone to do my social media. And for just 15 posts, she wanted $1,500 just for Instagram. And so here I am. Okay, I got to post 3 posts a day on Facebook. It would have cost me thousands of dollars. And now with NowSite, I can post on all social media platforms within minutes, and it changes the SEO. So it has the highest optimization. It gives the hashtags, the emojis, which I mean, I write well, but I mean, it sounds just like me. So I love it. It's a great tool.
Oh, that is fantastic. And what are some of the results that you have gotten from now? Let's start with what you just talked about, the consistency of showing up on social media. What have you started to begin to notice that's coming from that?
I think that the biggest thing is engagement. And I'm really able to share my story in a very authentic way for people to want to reach out to me.
Oh,
And that's the best part, is being able to have those engaging conversations now outside of social media, and having people that, whether they knew me from years ago and now that they're seeing me, they're like, oh my gosh, we need to come back and connect with Mia. And so that's been a real blessing, is being able to gain new followers, but as well as have my old clients and friends reach out to me as a result of me now being seen more than ever on social media.
oh my gosh. That's fantastic because a lot of one of the big pain points of many network marketers is the lack of conversations that they're having with people. So if you're not able to get people to engage with your content, there's no conversation, right? So with all of this, moving forward, where do you see, or what are you excited about what's happening next um, with the scaling of your business?
I'm really excited because now I have the right resources and tools in place to be able to share that with the team.
Mm.
And, Kim is an amazing leader, and I get to be a trainer. And that's my next goal, is to be able to help other people step up, to be able to not only lead by example, but show people well. And so I'm already duplicating some of the things that Kim has, which is accountability for my own team. And that's just a beautiful space to be in right
Mm. Okay. So Kim talked about the accountability piece on the last episode and how people don't like it. How did you do with starting with accountability with Kim? What was that experience
now.
like?
I really love it, actually, because it is so, like, in the trenches, so to speak. Like, we're all calling together. We're all, whether it's, sending, and Kim goes for 100 no's a day. Okay.
Mm.
And so I'm like, I can do that too, because he's shown me the way how to do it. So now we get excited to just be able to be in the now, whether it's through texting, emailing, calling, follow up. And it actually is very exciting. When I see everybody, it makes me want to, like, just go, go, go. So, and when I started to do that for my own team, they just thanked me. They were like, Mia, thank you, thank you. This is exactly what we need. So I'm really excited to see the momentum.
So how it now transitioning from the being held accountable to now holding your team accountable, what are some of the, let's say, challenges maybe that you've had in learning how to hold others accountable?
Well, I think the biggest lesson for me in learning from Kim is the BAM FAM, book a
Yeah.
meeting from a meeting, and to have assignments. Those two things were the things that I was lacking the most. So I
Mm.
get to now really implement that and apply that. And that's been everything in terms of how they see me now and how I
Ooh, I love it. And so with what you're doing now, how has your team begun to grow either in terms of sales or in numbers of team members?
So I thankfully, before I met Kim, I was kind of in a little rut. I was kind of floundering, didn't really have a system in place. So ever since Kim, I brought on Kim as a mentor and really kind of just dived all in with his platform and with his coaching. I'm now back at the executive level again, hitting the highest ranks in my air and water purification. So it's energized my team. They've now enrolled so many more associates. My business doubled over the season, as well as the spa business. So lots of momentum now, and being able to just believe that 2024 is going to be bigger than ever. So I'm very excited.
I love it. Are you able to, since you brought up the spa, are you able to use NowSite for both of those business?
That's what's so beautiful about NISET. It's non-industry specific. It can be for direct network marketers, or it can be for just regular or entrepreneurs. So yes, I do use it quite frequently for the spa, because it can write anything topic that you wanted to write about. It's pretty amazing.
Oh, that is so cool. And so there's the Chat GPT feature. What other parts of, or what other features of NowSite are you finding have been really helpful for you that you didn't have access before you had NowSite?
So NowSite is a very robust CRM because I really feel like it's a one-stop shop. There's a social media component, which allows people to save time and money for that by posting across all social media platforms and videos and things like that. Then there's the lead generation, because as an entrepreneur or even anyone that's in direct network marketing, you can always use more customers, but
Yeah.
not just any customers or clients. You want to find the right ones.
Yep.
So it has a wonderful lead generation that can be used. You can get unlimited leads. And then from there, then there's a system within that tells you how to talk to them and how to reach out to them, so that you
Mm.
can have a high retention and engagement with those people that you're reaching out to. So I really like that piece of Nowsite. And then, of course, is the funnels and the websites, and it does that all within 60 seconds. So it really takes it, like, in terms of following the customer from the beginning to the very end. And that's what I really like about it, because it does it all so seamlessly, very easily, all through using AI chat.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. I mean, it seems like there's a lot going on there. So it's something for people to definitely look into. So let's shift gears a little bit. Let's talk about your chapter in the Be a Success Maverick Volume 4 book, sharing more about your story of becoming a success maverick. Tell us a little bit about what's in the chapter.
Well, the chapter itself is called Soul Survivor. I am a Vietnam War baby, so I really was very blessed because I was chosen to come out of the war. There was only 300 babies that were chosen, but sadly, the plane that I was on crashed, so many babies perished.
Oh my.
And as a result, I was one of the lucky ones because I was missing a signature, and that signature saved my life. So my next kind of continuing, and it's kind of ironic because you and I were both on the Marketers Cruise, was that I actually met a relative of mine, my very first relative from Vietnam. And so my hope is to be able to go back there and actually find my family, which would be amazing. So that's
Oh,
kind of maybe the next episode to be where I actually can meet my family from
yes. No,
Vietnam. Be amazing.
you definitely have to come back and tell us that story when that happens, because that's going to be so cool for all of us to be able to follow you full circle from you and I first meeting all the way through that, because let's share the story with people about you meeting your relative on the marketer's cruise, because it's not like you knew that this person was going to be there. You happened to be sharing your story and somebody heard it and go from there. Cause I know I followed the story literally on Facebook as it was unfolding. And I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. I was so happy for you. So share with
Oh,
everybody. So you're talking about it on the Marketers Cruise in January of 2023, which is the first one for both you and I. What happened from there?
yes. So out of all the people that were on this cruise, I think the cruise had at least maybe 3,000 people.
Yeah.
And then we were in our little group about 350 people.
Mm-hmm.
And so out of all the people on the cruise and out of all the people, the marketers, I started to have this conversation with this lady about sharing my story about, the baby and that I, was saved because I wasn't on the plane from the war. And so she said, wait a second, my mom has the same exact story that you have. She too was missing a signature or her paperwork was not complete. And so she was on the same plane that you were on that saved your life. And then I was like, what? Jokingly said, well, maybe we're related. And so she said to me, well, I just took the ancestry doc and I will know my results in the next 2 weeks. And so I just said, okay, I think that would be so amazing. And we both had this kind of like weird feeling. Like I looked at her and said, she kind of has my nose, maybe. It's got a similar nose. And so then 2 weeks later, she called me and she's like, Mia, we're related. So that's amazing. And then I got to meet her grandmother, who was the one that raised her. And so I'm now trying to going up the family chain, so to speak, and having everyone take the ancestry.com so I could try to find my true family name and then be
Oh.
able to go back and locate.
Oh, well, fingers crossed for you, my dear. I really hope
Thank
that works
you.
out for you. And given that you now have a business that is able to be run from anywhere, you have that opportunity to be able to
Yes.
do that. Now granted, when you were at the spa, that's a little bit harder to run from another country,
Yes.
you know?
Yes.
So that's awesome that you've been able to build that through your network marketing. So, Mia, I really thank you for coming back to share your story, share all of this with the audience again, to reconnect and let them know about this opportunity that's here. Because if they haven't heard about the opportunity for NowSite, they should definitely take a look and see if this is going to work for them. So, we have included, okay, badass crew, listen carefully, because Mia has included a link in the show notes where you can reach out to her and be able to have a conversation directly with her. So if you have questions, if you want to know more about this, use the link to connect with Mia. So as you know, grab your phone as long as you're not driving, click on today's episode, scroll under Mia's beautiful picture, and you will see her link to connect with her, in addition to, of course, all her other socials. And we are including the link to her book, Be a Success Maverick Volume 4, if you want to check out her story, along with the stories of a few other amazing success mavericks. And by the way, y'all, I'm in Volume 3. So that's how she and I connected, because we're both a little on the mavericky side. So Mia, once again, thank you for being here. I so appreciate you. I appreciate our friendship, and I look forward to continuing to watch this story and watch your business grow.
Oh, thank you, Jenny. And I do have a giveaway too. I wanted to make
Ooh,
sure I mentioned that.
yes. Tell us about it. What do you have for our audience?
Okay, great. So as you know, my air and water purification business, there's a third part of that because they have the essentials for life, which is nutrition. So
Ooh,
they're actually offering, and I'm offering a free month, no shipping, no tax, a nutraceutical, which will be sent out directly to them to try. And so they just have to reach out to me. And then there's 4 different choices of nutraceuticals they can choose, absolutely 100% free, no obligation, no shipping, no tax, just to try out the nutraceutical on me.
that's awesome. Thank you, Mia. That is an amazing thing. Now, okay, so what's a nutraceutical? Because that's a new term. I've not heard this one before.
So, oh yeah, so the 4 that are available, if I can just mention that,
Sure.
is one called Essentials for Life. And so that is basically a multivitamin has all your minerals, nutrients, as well as a probiotic and enzymes. So that's available to choose from. Then there's also ketones. So being in the new year, everyone's all trying to be in ketosis. So this actually is a powder that puts your body in a state of ketosis within 15 minutes from taking it. So it's a great weight management. And then resist, which is just that, to resist airborne contaminants, pathogens, cold, viruses that you take internally. And then revive, which is for energy. So those are the 4 different nutraceuticals. Any one of those you can choose to have completely free on me. You just have to reach out to me so I can get it shipped to you.
Ah, y'all, you're crazy if you don't reach out to her. I don't know what you're thinking if you're not reaching out to Mia to give this a shot. So thank you again for that, Mia. So we have her contact information, as you know, in the show notes. So Mia and Kim, thank you for being here yet again. We're so glad to be able to have this conversation and sharing your expertise and brilliance with the Badass Crew. So Badass Crew, stay tuned because you know what's happening next. There's another badass episode on its way.
Thanks for listening to the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Podcast with your direct sales dom, Jenny Bellinger. Why are you waiting to go to badassdirectsalesmastery.com? Don't make the dom get her whip. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to share it with another rock star that you know in direct sales after you subscribe to the podcast so you won't miss any future episodes. You can also check out the show notes for links and any contact information mentioned in today's episode. We'll see you next time.